Oregon firefighter is being detained at the ICE facility in Tacoma after he was arrested while fighting the Bear Gulch Fire in Washington.
It was one of two federal immigration arrests made on the fire line Wednesday. Katu's Christina Giardinelli is at the live desk now after talking to his attorney. Christina, his attorney just located him this morning.
Yeah, his lawyer tells me they had been trying to find him since he was arrested and finally got a call from him this morning. The lawyer claims feds did not help him locate his client. Federal agencies did not provide us with an interview, but they did send statements about the reason for the arrests.
Against firefighters that don't have anything to do with.
Federal immigration agents arrested two firefighters fighting Washington's biggest blaze. One is from Oregon. His attorney, Rodrigo Fernandez with Innovation Law Lab, says they finally found out that he's being detained in Tacoma.
We tried to search for him on the ICE detainee locator. All our searches were unsuccessful. Actually, as of like 10 minutes ago, he still does not appear in the system.
He claims federal agents were not helpful when they called to try and find him. On Friday morning, the Oregon firefighter was allowed to call. In a written statement, U.S. Customs and Border Protection claims Wednesday's arrest happened after it was asked by the Bureau of Land Management and the U.S. Forest Service to help terminate two Oregon-based private firefighting contractors following a criminal investigation. The federal agencies would not disclose the nature of the investigation. The statement claims that during the process, it found out two firefighters were in the U.S. illegally. Fernandez says his client has been awaiting a visa.
Our client submitted a U visa application in 2018 after he and his family were victims of a federal crime.
He says he's been in the U.S. since he was 4.
He's been here for nearly 20 years. He graduated high school. Oregon is his home. He's bravely been fighting fires for nearly 3 years now.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection's written statement reads in part, the contract termination and enforcement action did not interfere with firefighting operations. At the live desk, Christina Giardinelli, K2 News.
Christina, thank you for that. Tonight, Oregon lawmakers are reacting to the news of the firefighters being detained. Democratic Congresswoman Andrea Salinas wrote this on X, quote, "These people are risking their lives to keep communities safe. How does this make Americans safer?" She went on to say, every day this administration finds a new way to show how backwards and inhumane it is.
Congresswoman Maxine Dexter also chiming in, saying in a statement to K2, while the Pacific Northwest burns, Border Patrol is arresting firefighters. This is the reality of Trump's cruel immigration machine, targeting brave first responders and leaving our communities vulnerable. Dexter also says she's demanding answers from the Secretary of Homeland Security about the lives she says the department has put in jeopardy.
Senator Ron Wyden also wrote this on Twitter, arresting firefighters putting their lives on the line to protect our communities doesn't make us safer. He went on to say this evil stunt is putting families in harm's way just so Donald Trump can score a Fox News hit. We also reached out to Republican Congressman Cliff Bentz for his response. We'll let you know if we hear back.
In the meantime, Portland Chief of Police Bob Day says his department has not yet been told about the potential for more ICE agents in the area. This after border czar Tom Homan told reporters yesterday the government will expand immigration enforcement in sanctuary cities, including here in Portland.
We're still not engaging in immigration enforcement. I learned of those statements from the media, so that we're not directed towards us. There has not been any outreach to us regarding an ask or any indication that there will be an increased amount of enforcement. So we're really staying the course.
He says Portland police also remain committed to supporting the state and city's sanctuary laws. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek joined 18 other Democratic governors in writing a joint letter yesterday to President Trump. They want the administration to end what they are calling chaotic federal interference in states' National Guard.
Washington Governor Bob Ferguson also joined that letter. In it, the governors wrote, quote, every American deserves to feel safe in their neighborhood and community, but instead of actually addressing crime, President Trump cut federal funding for law enforcement that states rely on and continues to politicize our military by trying to undermine the executive authority of governors as commanders-in-chief of their state's National Guard. The governors also called it an alarming abuse of power and said it undermines the mission of our service members. The Trump administration has deployed the National Guard in L.A. to quell protest and in D.C. to crack down on crime. Now the president wants to expand his anti-crime agenda to Chicago and possibly New York. Vice President J.D. Vance said local leaders should be more concerned about violence in their communities than the administration's push to crack down on crime.
What the president has said is that, very simply, we want governors and mayors to ask for the help. The President of the United States is not going out there forcing this on anybody, though we do think that we have the legal right to clean up America's streets if we want to. Why is it that you have mayors and governors who are angrier about Donald Trump offering to help them than they are about the fact that their own residents are being carjacked and murdered in the streets? It doesn't make an ounce of sense.
Vance said armed robberies, carjackings, and murders are down between 40 and 90% since the National Guard deployment there. Katu's working to verify those numbers.
We have